বলো এবার তাহলে আমি যা প্রশ্ন করেছি প্রশ্ন আবার করছি টুডে উই উইল ডু সাম প্রোগ্রাম ইন পাইথন ওকে as we told last day we will do the program on list and tuples and dictionaries like data structures. Okay, so if you have any programs in your mind or if you have approached any program and you haven't able to complete that, you can always tell me. Now my first question is to you. What is the difference between tuple, list and dictionary? Bolo. So this is the program that we will do today, but I will start it again since the connection was not there. Okay, tell me. বলো দেখি কেউ একজন, what is a tuple? Just tell me one thing. What is the symbol of tuple? What is the symbol of dictionary? And what is the symbol of list? I will be pleased then. Tell me. What is the symbol of list? বলো 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 বলো. What is the symbol of list? Tuple and dictionary. List is this one. Tuple and dictionary. Okay. So in this program, this is the first program we are going to try. This program is basically say মাঝে মাঝে একটু রিপ্লাই করবে, তা নাহলে আমি বুঝতে পারছি না যে
Okay, sir.
হ্যাঁ. So this is a list. Suppose this is a list. T is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Say these are the data list. So what this program will do, what we are going to do in this program, this program will remove the first and the last element of the from the list. Okay, that is what we are going to do here. Okay, so for that purpose we have created a function, user defined function chop, and we are going to pass this list, entire list, into this function this chop. Okay, and after return from this function we are going to print that list. Sorry, why this is show code action, we do not want to get any help from the editor. Anyway, so after coming out from the function, this list will become this one. So you clearly see that the first one and the last item has been removed from this list. Okay, so to do that job we would like to write a function, user defined function called chop. So how to write a user defined function? You know, using def keyword, def chop chop, and inside that I am taking a variable. This temp variable is going to, but this temp variable is going to represent this tuple. Okay, now when I am passing this tuple, this t tuple inside this function, this tuple is going to be referred by this temp identifier. Okay, now here in this concern I would like to mention one important point, that when you pass a mutable object, when you pass a mutable object in a function, okay, that time you are actually passing the object something like pass by reference. So you are familiar about the term call by reference, call by value, okay, or pass by reference, pass by value. So when you are passing a mutable object in a function, that time what you are passing actually, you are actually passing a reference. So by passing this t, we are actually passing a reference to this list object. Okay, and that reference is been uh, represented by this word temp. So whatever we will do here, okay, that will be directly affect this list. Okay, so what we are going to do here, can anyone tell me any idea how to remove the first and the last element? Okay, see, just simple two operation. You use del keyword, del function. Okay, inside del you remove the first item. So how to represent the first item? Using the subscript operator, means the array operator. Okay, you can say it as array operator also, although it is better to use subscript operator, that square bracket. Okay, so if you uh, pass the element temp 0, that means you are passing the first item from the list represented by temp. Okay, so del will actually remove the item, the 0th item from that list which has been referred by the temp. Okay, so to remove the first item, this is okay. Now how to remove the last item? I have to write something here. So how can you write it? How to remove the last item from the list? So what is the last item? What will be the index of the last item? So here the index of the last item is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So you can write 3 here. So it will remove the last item from this list. But what happen if you have some other value? So then you have to write the corresponding index over here. But if you do the program like that, so your program will become a static, means a dependency will be there. Okay, so it will depend on the list that you are going to pass into the function. So we do not like that way to do the program. So how to make it a dynamic program, that whatever list you pass, this function will remove the last item. So to represent the last item, okay, let's do first testing. If you have this list only, so this is the 0th item, 1, 2 and 3 item. So if you put 3 here, then what will happen? Let's see if we get this as output. Okay, tell me if it is okay. Some who, some
Yes.
ha.
Mhm.
Hmm. What happened to this list assignment index out of range? Okay, so it is saying that the list is going out of range. Why it is saying list is going out of range? See here, it is clearly saying that the list assignment index is a list assignment index is out of range in this statement. This is because if you okay, let me show you. If I do it fast, then I remove this 0th item, then what will happen? Save it and run it. See, we got the output. Then what was happen if we write, if you write that line here? Any idea? The idea is that when this operation first takes place, so the 0th item is removed from the list. Na? So after removing the 0th item, the list will be like that. List will be like that. Then in this list, there is no item whose index is this 3, right? You got the idea? That's why
Yes, sir.
the error was given, because after removing the 0th item, the list is now have only 3 elements in it. Okay, so there is no 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, that's why you can remove the third item first means the last item first, then remove the zeroth item, because zeroth item will always be there until and unless the list become completely empty. Okay, so we do it fast. Then we make this thing, make this items like this one. Okay, that you can easily distinguish between the two. Let me run the program once again. So you are going to get 2233. But here this program has that kind of dependency. If we have one more data in it, then what will happen? Then what will happen? You have to remove the fourth item, right? You have to remove the fourth item. See here, you are going to get 223344. So 223344 is there, and it removes the first and the last item. But in this way, how can you convert this, means how can you convert this function into such a function that whatever our list is there, it will always remove the first and last item. Okay, this function is not going to remove the first and last item for every list. It will remove the first and last item only for the list like this, where we have 5 items. So it is not the way of doing things. So how can we do that thing? So the main problem is that we have to identify the last index. Okay, what is the last index? So how can you get that thing? How can you get the last index of a list? So for that purpose, I am just opening my ideally here and see, say there is a list. Inside that list, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Okay, so if you give len t, so you are going to get 5 now. So it will give you the length of the list. Now if you have one more data in it, say one less data in it, then if you put len, so what you will get? You will get 4. So we can use this function. Okay, so we can use this function to identify what is the length of what is the last index. So what will be the last index then? So len p, this will give you the total number of items in the list. Okay, and then minus 1. Okay, why minus 1? See here, if you have 5 item, then you are getting 5. So what will be the index of the last item? That will be 5 minus 1, 4, because this starts with 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's why we are using minus 1. So if you run this program now, let's see what happened. So you are getting 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Now you remove one item from here. So we are not changing here. See, the function remains same. So you are getting this thing. If you increase the value, increase the value, see, we are getting the result. You understand? Now do one thing. Just we are now deleting the zeroth item and deleting the last item here. Okay, we are putting this statement at end. So what will happen? There is no change. Okay, it is working perfectly fine because we are not giving the last index manually. Okay, the last index here is calculated by the program itself, by the function itself. Okay, so this is the simple tiny function that solve the purpose. It will chop the first and the last element from the list. Do you understand? Tell me one or two yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now see, the amazing fact is that I told you initially, means at the very first uh, word of this class, in this class, that Python have several ways of doing one thing. Okay, if I ask you to do one thing, then you may perform that task using n ways. Okay, see, how can we make this thing shorter? I am just using another command, that is del itself, and temp within bracket I am giving -1, just give -1. Okay, and I am commenting this line. So what this -1 will do, you know that the index of the last element, okay, means in Python you can start the index from here. This is your 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and you can write the index from the right hand side too. So this is your -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. Let's do the test. See, if you write -1, then what it will print? It will print 4. Currently this list is going to be considered. Okay, if you write -2, then what it will print? Tell me. It will print 3. Okay, so by using this negative index we can do the task. Say del temp -1. Let's run the program here. Okay, so tell me, what is better, writing the code in this way or writing the code in this way? Obviously this is the shorter part, and also that this thing will take less time. Why? Because here this len function, that means you have to perform a calculation over here, and that calculation will consume some amount of time. Okay, so some amount of time will be elapsed during this computation, and there is a function call always has an overhead. Okay, so it will take more time. So altogether, to compute the last element, this approach will take you more time. But here, since we are giving -1, so Python understand, the interpreter understand what is -1, that is the last element. So it will directly delete the last element. So this is the better approach. Okay, so although I am not deleting this one because of reference, so I make it a comment. Okay, so this is all about this program. Okay. Okay, so what we will do next? Just wait. Okay, so the next program we can do, say, so let's do some program on nested list. Say nested sum.py. What is that? What is a nested list? List under another list. Okay, say a list is there, something like that. Inside that list another list is there, say 1 comma 2. Okay, and we have another list, say 2 again there, and we have another list, say 3 comma 4 comma 5, something like that. So this is called a nested list. See here, this T is a list, this is the whole list. Okay, inside that we have three more lists. that is, this one is a list, this one again a list, and this is a list. Okay, so what our intention is to do, uh, we want to produce a sum of all the elements in the list. Okay, so to perform that operation, what we will do, we will first compute the sum of each individual list. Okay, we will compute the sum of this list, then we will add that sum to this list. Okay, means we will fetch every element from the nested list and sum it. Okay, so to do that, I am creating a function, say s sum, or sum of list sl is equal to, I am creating, there is a sum function already available there, but I do not want to use that sum. I want to create my own sum, say my sum, and inside that my sum I am passing the value t. After computing the sum, I am going to print sum is equal to comma sl. Okay, so what we will do, so this is our main, what we will do, we have a nested list, we are going to compute the sum of all the items inside this list. Okay, so in order to do that thing, what we will do, we will find the sum of each individual, means nested, we will traverse, rather we will traverse each individual nested list, and we will fetch the element from there, and sum that, add that element to a variable. Okay, let's do it. So define the function mysum first. Def mysum, again temp is the reference. Okay, so take a variable, say s is equal to 0. Okay, so this s variable is going to hold the sum value, and we are going to use the for loop. Okay, say for t in temp, that means, what is the significance of this for loop? Temp is this list. Okay, so for each item in this list, we are running this program, or we are running this for loop. That means this t is going to represent first time, at the first iteration, this t is going to represent this item, because this is the first item, or the, you can say, 0th item in the list. Okay, uh, this item is a list 2. Okay, and in the next iteration, so t will represent this item, and then third iteration it will represent this item. Okay, okay. Now see, if we uh, run another loop here, say for x in t, because we know that this t is going to be another list, then you can run this another for loop on that t. Okay, so what we can do, s is equal to s plus x. Okay, so this x is now going to fetch this value first, next this value, then again it will leave the first element. Okay, then it will consider this element, and it will take each and every element from this list, and this list is having currently one field or one item, so it will take this two. Okay, so all these item will be fetched by this loop. Okay, let's first run the code, return s. Okay, so this some value will be returned here in SL, and we are going to print this SL. Okay, save it and run it. See, we are getting 17. Let's check whether it is giving you 17 or not. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 and 3, 8, 8 and 8 and 4,
Yes, sir.
12. So it is 17.
217.
It is 17. Okay. So we are getting the right result, right? But again, Python have some shorter way. Okay. So we can remove this loop from this code. Rather traversing in the nested list, what we can do, see here, S is equal to S plus, we can use that sum function. Python has a function, system defined library function sum. Okay, if you pass a whole list, okay, so it will automatically calculate the sum of all the elements in the list and it will return that value. So in that way, we are removing the second nested loop. Okay, just see here. See here, your T is this list, and if you call the sum function like that, so you are going to get the sum of all the elements. Okay, so why we not use this function? If the Python is giving us this function, then we will use that function. So S equal to S plus sum T, your code becomes simpler again. The result is same. If you add some more list over here, say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, so this is your 15, I hope. So 15 plus 17, we are going to get 32. We are getting 32. So this is the way this simple function is going to sum all the element present in the nested list. Okay, this list may be a very long in real life. Okay, but still this function is capable of producing the sum of all the elements present in the list. Okay, tell me if this code is okay with you or not. Hmm.
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Okay. Then what we will do, we will see, we are creating a function, we are writing another program, say what, separate.py. Okay, what we will do, say mm, we a string is there, schooled. Schooled. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to get, I want to separate the characters present inside the string. But how to separate it? It's not like that. Okay, separate S, separate C, separate H. Not in that way. My interest is to separate the even numbered or even placed or even indexed characters and odd indexed characters separately. I am explaining more. Say this is your zeroth character, the next is your one character, next is your two character, if you are considering the uh, indexed index, okay, of the character. So I want to see here, I want to separate those characters S C H S C H O O L E D. Okay, see, this is your zeroth character, this is your one character, this is your two. These are the index. Okay, 3, 4, then L is your 5, then E is your 6, and the D is your 7. So if I want to separate, then tell me. So even indexed character and odd indexed character I want to separate. Then how can I do that? Before going into the logic, just tell me what are the characters, okay, that will be present in this EV, means even numbered character. So it will be your S. So it will be your S, then H, then one O, then E, I think the shoe. And what will be the other word? That is your C, uh, O, then L, D. Okay, cold. See here, these are the two different strings, two different words, shoe and cold. Okay, they are merged into this word. This is again another a valid word in English, schooled. Okay, so these type of words are called interlocked word. Okay, so our aim is to separate the words that has been interlocked into a single word. Okay, so to for that to work to fetch the interlocked word inside this string, we have to do some work. But are you able to understand what we are going to do? We will be provided with a string and we have to fetch the even number characters in a string and the odd number characters in another string. Okay, so this is our task. Let's see how we can perform the task. So for that purpose we are creating a function, say giving the name of the function separate and passing value, and we are receiving what this function will return. Okay, and print value. This will be our main. Let's define the function def separate the temp. Any idea? Do some experiment here. See, str, we are taking a string, say SCHOOLED. Okay, so str is giving you school. So if I use the uh, slice operator over this, so this one will give you the whole string, you know, this one will give you the whole string, and this one will also give you what, the whole string. I hope you remember from our string class. Now, if you give 1 here, what is this? This is the step part. Okay. If you give 1 here, so it will again give you the whole string. Now, if you give 2 here, so what will happen? It is giving that SHOE. Why? Because consider this. Okay. So, you remember what is the first part? That is the start part. This is the end part, and this is the step part. So if you do not mention anything in the start part, so it will always start from the beginning, from the zeroth element. Okay. So this is the zeroth element. If you are not mentioning anything in the end part, so it will go up to the end. Okay. So by writing this thing, we told to the interpreter that start from beginning and go till the end. But how it will move into the string? So step by 2. That means it will fetch first this one and then step 2. So it will skip the next one and it will fetch the third character. Again it will skip the next one, it will fetch the next character. In that way, say if it is 0, so after 0 it will take 2. After 2 it will take 4. After 4 it will take 6. In that way we are getting the even placed characters inside a string, right? Got it? If you get it, then can you please tell me what I should write to get the odd placed character? To get the odd placed character, from where we have to start? We should not start from here, we should start from here. So what is the index of this character? That is 1. That means you have to write 1 here. Okay. And how far we have to move? We have to move till end, so we do not have to write anything here. What we will give here? Again, starting from odd character, we have to move by 2. Let's press enter. See, you are getting the odd placed character. So Python is so powerful. So just by writing these 2 lines, we are getting the whole thing done. Okay. So let's write these 2 things here. So what we will do? We are taking a variable, say even word equal to say temp 2. So it will give the even words, and odd word equal to temp 1 2, and we are going to return a list consisting of this even word comma odd word. We are going to return this list. This list is going to be returned and we are going to store that list in T. Here we are printing that value of T. Okay, so we will get this thing print out. Let's run it. See, shoe and cold are together. So a string is called an interlocked string or interlocked word if that word is constructed by mixing up the characters in 2 or maybe in 3 or 4 or 5. Okay, here in presently we are considering 2 words. Okay, 2 words are mixed up in such a way that it is going to form another meaningful English word mm, by mixing up the characters one from another. Say if you take S from this string and then you have to take C from this string, then you take H from this string, then you have to take O from this string. So this way if you mix the two string, the characters of the two string, and we are getting another string, that string can be referred as interlocked string. Okay, so this function is simply separate those interlocked words from a string. Got it? Tell me, reply.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Think in Java or in C or in any other language, if you want to do the same job, then how much amount of code you have to write for that? Okay. Okay. Now we are doing the reverse of this program. That means in this program we are separating the interlocked word. Now we are doing another program which will interlock the two words and produce this word. Okay. Let's create a interlock.py. Okay. So what I am trying to say we will have SHOE and we will have another say cold. Okay. So now we are going to write this code in that way that shoe and cold will merge together and will produce the interlocked word scold. Okay. To do that, we are going to pass this string say interlock, and we are going to get the result in T. Okay. Next, we will print the value of T. Okay. So this will be our main. So how to do it? So define a function def interlock say word 1 comma word 2. Okay. So how to perform? See, I'm giving A is equal to, so what is our A? A become this one, and we are getting say B is equal to, so B is going to be our cold. Okay. Now if you remember, so this A and B are now become strings. Okay. So you remember how to convert these strings means if we convert these strings into list, what will happen? Hmm? The- if you convert this string into list, so it will give you this way. If you convert the another string, so it will give you another list. Okay. Now consider if you are if you traverse through a list through this list. Okay, we are taking into consideration that these two lists have equal length. Okay, maybe one is your shorter length, maybe one is your greater length. So we will iterate over the shorter length string, shorter length list. Okay, so here in our current program we have two lists with same length. Okay, so if we iterate over this list, so 0th item, okay, this is one item, this is two, this is three. Okay, now see, if you are going to create a sorry if you are going to create means if we create a list by traversing on these two lists simultaneously. Okay, then what will happen? Say at the very first iteration, we are getting the zeroth element. So we are taking the zeroth element from the first list, that is S, and we are appending the zeroth element of the next list. So C will be there. Got it? So in the next iteration, we will get the one item. So again, we are taking the one item from the first list and one item from the second list. In this way, we can create a list by merging all the elements from the two list. Okay, got it? So we have to create a loop which will iterate over the length of this list. Okay, and we will take the zeroth element first from this one and zeroth element from this list, then one element from this one, next element from this one. Okay, so do the program. Say what is the length of this two string? What is the length of this two string? 4. So currently I am writing that I in range 4. Right? So if you write a loop like this, so what will be the value of I? So I will get the value 0, 1, 2, and 3. You are passing 4 inside range. So what are the values you are going to get in n in I? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now see, mm, I'm creating a empty list first. So this will give you a empty list, temp list. And since you know that list is mutable, so we can append. So see, append is a function of list. So we are using that append, and we are appending what? We are appending word one ith element in the list from word one. What is word one? Word one is this one. So we are taking the first element. So what will be the first value of I? The first value of I will be 0. So we are taking the 0th element from the word 1. So next, take the 0th element from the word 2. So in this temp, okay, we are putting first the 0th element of the word 1. Then we are adding the 0th element of the word 2. Then this loop will iterate for the next time, and I will get the value 1. So when I get the value 1, we are appending in the same list the one element from the word 1, then the one element from the word 2. After completion of this loop, we will get the mm, uh, whole list, which will consist all the characters from these two, but in a merged way. Okay, let's check it first. How to check? It is not properly aligned, I think. Now if you print this temp, you will get the idea. I'm returning the temp here. Okay, so if I return temp, then I do not have to print the temp here because the printing will be done here. Okay, now see, if we run the code, we are going to get, see here, SCHOOLED. These two strings are now, these two characters of these two strings are now merged into a list, but this is a list. What we have to form? We have to form the interlocked word. Means we have to create a word where these characters are interlocked. So how to produce the string from a list? I show you earlier in list class or string class. We need to join it. Okay. So say create a string str is equal to join. How to join? Null dot join. Inside that you have to pass the list. That's all. So you have to pass this str. Okay. So this will join. If you forget the syntax, then just refer to my string class. Okay. This will join the whole, join all the characters present, all the items rather present in the string. And why this is null? Because we do not want to keep any characters between these two characters. Okay, in a string, how the characters are joined? The characters are joined by null, means there is no character between these two characters. Okay, that's why this. If you place some other character, say and, okay, so all the characters will be appended or joined by and. Okay, so you can do some R&D over this function too. So it will produce in str, it will produce the interlock string. Now we are going to run this code. Okay. This is your interlocked code, interlocked string or word. Okay. Okay, make it a little bit more shorter. So we will, we do not want to take the extra variable str, we directly pass this one. Okay, so we can get rid of this line. Run it. See, we are getting this one. Okay, just one thing we need to change here. We have put 4 here, so if I have some more characters in these two strings, so it will not work. Okay, so how to get rid of that thing? So we can find a length, say n is equal to min. We are using the min function here and getting the minimum length string, word1 comma len word2. What this line is actually doing? This line is actually finding the length of the word1 and word2 and getting the minimum length. Okay, and we want to iterate on the minimum length string. Okay, so what will happen if we run the same thing on the words given shoe and cold? So it will give scold. Okay, but if you have a longer length, say SSSS, okay, so the length are now not equal now. So what n will get value? N will get value 4 because this is the shorter length. So our loop will iterate over this length. Okay. Now see what will happen. Save it. See here. So it is going to match. It is going to match the characters only that much, this 4. Remaining characters will be eliminated. Okay, you can do some more stuff here, that if the lengths are not equal, then you can produce that it is not possible to interlock. Or you can do one more thing, that even if the for dissimilar length of character words, okay, you can append this ss at the end of this string. That you can also do, but presently I am not doing that thing here. Okay. Okay, so it was another code for list. what we can do next? Okay, let's do a code on dictionary. Just a minute. Okay, so we are counting frequency. Count frequency of say each character in a string. We are going to count the frequency of each character in a string. Suppose there is a character, there is a string, say what type of string? Say give me a string like that, say Indiana Jones is uh, my favorite. Okay. So this is a string. Okay. Now we want to count the frequency of each individual character in a string. This is a famous program. I hope you remember from Java, C, in every language you implemented that thing. Now see how in Python how easy it is to find the thing. Okay. So we have to count the frequency of each character in this string. Okay. Remember that a character may be repeated, just like the small I is repeated here thrice, right? This capital I is different from the small I and it is not repeated, it is just one. See, N is repeated one, two, three, three times. Okay, so you have to count the frequency. Okay, now say I'm create a function for that. So what my plan? See here, I am doing this program in my way. Okay, maybe you and other can represent the logic in some other way. Okay, so this is my thinking that I am going to do the program in that way. So what I am going to do, I will count the frequency of each character, not each character, each unique character. So if I count the frequency of this I am not going to count the frequency of this I and the next occurrence of the i's. Okay. So I will count the frequency of each individual unique characters in the string and I will create, I am going to create a dictionary for that. Okay, see here, suppose capital I. So if the frequency of the capital I is like in this string, capital I is 1, the frequency, it is appearing once. So I am going to produce a dictionary like that. Say small I, since small I occurs 3 times, so it will give you 3. So I am going to create a dictionary like that in this way. Okay, and I will return this dictionary to the main function. Okay, so this is my approach. I am going to do the program in that way. Okay, so D, I am storing the result in D and I am going to just print the value of D. Okay. Now this is my main function. I am defining the function count frequency and passing here a temporary or a variable. So I am going to count the frequency of each character which is unique. So how to get the unique characters in the string? So can you tell me? We have a data structure in Python which can store only the unique items. So what is it? That is set. So I'm going to create a set here. So write, if I pass this string inside the set function, so what it will give? Let's do it. See here. Say India. See, this is a string, na? So how many times I appear here? Two times. Okay. So now if you create a set, if you pass this a variable inside a set, then you are going to get a set of unique characters. See here, these are the unique characters. This is a set you have been provided with, but all the characters here are unique. This I is not appearing twice, although it is present twice in this string. Okay, so we are going to take the help of this set. So this my set now contains the unique characters from this string. Okay, now my result is to construct that dictionary. So result equal to dict. I am taking a empty dictionary. Then I am running a loop for say item in my set. So in that set, I am running a loop and just result this item. Item is now going to be the key of the dictionary is equal to what? That I am taking the count item. I'm counting how many times this item is there inside this string. Okay, this count function will give you the number of the frequency number of this item in this string. Okay, check it. See, a is your India. So if you write that a dot count, and inside that if you pass I, so it will give you 2, because small I appears twice in India. If you pass a in the A, so a is appearing 1. Okay, got it? Can you tell me, if you pass x here, then what will happen? X is not present in India, then what will happen? So it will return 0. Okay, so we are taking help of this count function too. Okay, so it will count the frequency of this item in the string. Okay, so this is constructing the dictionary, and at the end we are returning the dictionary. Result. That's all. Let's check. See, this is the dictionary. Okay, now how can you read this dictionary? Copy it. Maybe you can read this dictionary like that. See, this is the dictionary. If this is the dictionary, it is for you so that you can understand better. Okay. So this is the dictionary. Can you identify? Space. Space is also a character. See, all the characters are there, and there is no repeated characters. Okay. So this is the dictionary it forms. See, all unique characters are there, and the right hand side are the frequencies. Okay, got it? So this is the way, the simple tiny function which will count the frequency of each and every characters in a string and giving us the result. Okay, so we did this much of work. Okay, although I had planned to do more. Anyway, the remaining programs, I will have a set of programs I will send to you. It's up to you whether you practice these programs at your home. If you feel uncomfortable with the logic or anything doing while doing the program, then you can always refer to me, maybe in next class or by texting personally. Okay, so today up to this. Tell me, give me a quick feedback, one or two from you, yes or no. Otherwise, we will stop the meeting here. Tell me. Hello.
No problem. Yes, and no problem.
Okay.